From Christmas to New Year, we stayed in Sydney, Australia for 10 days. This video is a part 1 of a 2-part video about the best area and the best hotels to stay in Sydney, Australia, especially for anyone who are visiting Sydney the first time. If you plan to visit Sydney and look for the best hotels, this might be the video for you. This video as part 1 will discuss general locations and our opinion about the best area to stay if you are the first-time visitor in Sydney. The part 2 video will compare in great details the 4 hotels we stayed based on our personal experience, from their locations to services to rooms. The first hotel we stayed was Four Seasons in Circular Quay. Three days later, we moved on to the next hotel, Shangri-La in Rocks, which is just a block away. But do not underestimate this one block. You will know why if you watch part 2 video. After another 3-day stay, we dragged our luggages all the way across Circular Quay to check into Intercontinental. The last hotel we stayed was Park Hyatt, facing the Opera House from the other side of the quay. Park Hyatt is in the heart of Rocks with a totally different vibe. It's not hard to see we stayed in a perfect quadrant with the Opera House in the center. All the hotels are in the proximity of a 20-minute walk. If you are curious why we stayed in 4 different hotels during our 10-day stay, no, we didn't plan this way by any means. Let's just say original plan changed. We didn't get a chance to go to Hamilton Island or Melbourne as planned. Staying in 4 different hotels in Sydney became a reality. Let's talk about the area known as the Circular Quay and the Rocks first.
This train stops Circular Quay.
If you ever take the eastbound train into Circular Quay station or ferry to Manly, you will know it's one of the best ways to experience the Sydney Harbour. Trains from Circular Quay station with transfer could take you to the Greater Sydney area like Bondi or even Blue Mountains. For anyone who are visiting Sydney the first time, staying in the Circular Quay and the Rocks is highly recommended. The Opera House is in the walking distance, as well as the Harbour Bridge just across the water. This is very convenient if you dress up and go to a nice restaurant or catch an evening show in the Opera House. In the New Year's Eve, when hundreds of thousands of people packed into Circular Quay, with all the streets closed, a normal 10-minute walk on the flat ground became a 30-minute walk up the hills. It only took us 5 minutes to walk from the hotel we stayed. That's the perks of staying close. Circular Quay is definitely the place for you if you enjoy the casual walk during sunset, or a sunrise walk around the Opera House. Anyway, if you visit Sydney the first time, is this not the most important thing you want to see? If you want to visit the other parts of Sydney, Circular Quay is probably the best place to start. Light rails just downstairs travels to most parts of CBD, While trains, like I mentioned before, with transfer from Central Station, they take you to the greater Sydney area like Bondi or even Blue Mountains. Ferries to different parts of Sydney Harbour are also from Circular Quay. Circular Quay is next to the Rocks neighborhood, which is the oldest neighborhood in the modern Sydney. Rocks has a lot of great restaurants, old bars, as well as historical sites. Circular Quay and the Rocks is only 20-minute walk away or 2 light rail stops to the center of CBD or Central Business District, the place like Martin Place.
Biggest Christmas tree in Australia, Sydney Martin Place.
Queen Victoria Building, which is a must visit in our opinion. Another short, less than 10-minute walk to very Christmas St. Mary's Cathedral.
Merry Christmas, Uncle!
The area around Martin Place, King Street, Pitt Street, George Street is probably the best shopping district in Australia, with malls and stores everywhere, including many flagship stores of luxury brands. The nearby Darling Harbour, which is about 20 minutes walk from Circular Quay, is also one of the favorites among visitors. Many launch boats, sunset boats, and sightseeing boats are boarded from Darling Harbour. If you are wondering what kind of a boat we were taking, this was us on the Boxing Day, following 2 of the best super maxi sailing yacht, Comanche and Law Connect, into Bondi. This was the start of Sydney to Hobart race, also the main reason we visited Sydney in the Christmas season. But that's a story for another day. Much to our surprise, there is a zoo hiding inside the harbor. Yeah, you heard it right. We spent 3 hours watching koalas sleep and waiting for them to wake up and start to scratch their butts, climb branches, and eat leaves. It was totally worth it. Darling Harbour is of course the other great place to stay in Sydney. However, if you want to fall into sleep while watching the Opera House, or wake up with sunrise shining on its sail-like roof, or just simply stare at it while having your coffee or tea. In our opinion, Circular Quay and the Rocks are the best places to stay while visiting Sydney. It's the best location to access activities, restaurants, and transportations, both on land and water. This concluded the part 1 of a 2-part video about the best area and the best hotels to stay in Sydney. In the part 2 video, we'll talk about the 4 hotels we stayed in great detail.